morning, peeps out there in YouTube land. Phyllis and I are going to do something a little different. We're going to make lasagna, and I never did like lasagna because I don't like cottage cheese in it. I don't like ricotta cheese. And so we decided, I came up with the ingredients, but this woman knows how to make lasagna and I have never made it. So we're switching places. I'm demoted for today. She's the chef, I'm the sous chef. So I'm going to let her take over even though she hates being on camera. So give her a big shout out when you watch this video.
Fried 2 pounds of hamburger and 1 roll of polska kielbaska.
A mouthful.
Hillshire Farm.
And it's the beef. I've been trying to get away from using a whole lot of pork. I'm not the healthiest person in the world anymore. And so I'm trying to eat a little healthier, and we're making our own sauce with this because my daughter just got out of a 3 or 4 day stint in the hospital she had a perforated colon, and they found that she has diverticulitis. So we're making this seed-free.
You hadn't opened up to me.
Which is a hard thing to do when you are not used to thinking about it, and you have to do it anyway.
And the tomato paste. Get open it over here now.
Oh yeah, it did get moved, didn't it? I was looking for it in its normal place. Do we need 1 or 2 of these?
1. And then 1 33.5 ounce container of tomato sauce.
And this, where did my little bitty one go? I bet it's in the dish drainer. I think I washed it. Yeah. I depend on my Rachel Ray spatula. I love this thing.
1 12-ounce can of tomato paste. That's so thick.
This is thick as all get out. But it's seed-free, which is what we were going for.
Got 3 teaspoons of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Tablespoon of Italian seasoning.
And I try to get my cans as clean as possible.
And 10 cloves of garlic peeled and crushed, diced, whatever. And all that.
Yeah, it's diced in it, Christian. It'll press itself in amongst all this.
Crushed it in a little thing.
Yeah. We got 2 different kinds of garlic presses. One of them dejuices it, and the other one just dices it, and we use the dicer. And I only bought them about 6 months ago because I'd never used fresh garlic. That's clean. Do you want me to rinse it?
No, okay. That's fine. And just get that heated up good to boil, and then turn it down, let it simmer for 30 minutes.
And we will be back in 30 minutes. You have to keep stirring it too, But we'll be back in 30 minutes to show you what it's going to look like and throw all this together. Okay, now she's well buttered the glass baking dish that we're going to be doing this in.
And the oven's preheated to 375.
And this is bubbling nicely, and she just turned it off.
Then,
and it smells delicious.
For the cheese mix, we got a cup that's going to go on top. 2 eggs beaten. We got a bunch of different kinds of cheese. We got 4 state cheddar. Wisconsin Sharp, New York Sharp, California Mild, and Vermont Sharp. 2 cups of that.
And this is the first time we've ever tried this cheese. Just
2
so
cups
you
of
know,
that, and
it's Sargento, so it should be good.
2 cups of Mexican 4 cheese with Monterey Jack, cheddar, asadero, and queso quesadilla.
And there's nothing better than asadero cheese. We could eat that by the handful, couldn't we, fellas?
Yeah. Yeah, if it was just the asadero. Just try to get that all mixed in right now.
And like I said, she's the chef today. I know absolutely nothing about making lasagna, but I know what I'd like to see it taste like. And I've not eaten lasagna yet that I like. So hopefully this will be different.
It'll just be meat and cheese. There won't be the ricotta or the cottage.
That's great. That's the 2 things I do not like.
We're using the oven ready lasagna. So we put a layer down. Start with 1 layer of noodles. You can use the regular lasagna noodles. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you have to boil them.
Yeah, that just takes longer. But, just put a layer down. Well, just lay it this way.
Yeah, that'd work.
Okay, you might have to
break one.
Or just kind of layer it. Just do it like that.
Like I said, I know nothing about this. It's all.
I've never used the pre. Look at them, they're like sheets of paper.
They are, and they break real easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that one I already cracked just from holding them together.
Okay, and then start with the meat layer.
Yeah, that would be easier than using that thing.
Start with the layer of meat. It doesn't have to be real thick because we're going to have to do a couple layers.
Yeah.
So you don't want it real thick. But you got to do a layer of that and then a layer of cheese.
And even if you don't cover it completely, it's going to spread out.
Probably that scooping and try to spread as much as you can.
I think it looks all right. Of course, I don't know what I'm doing, but I think it looks okay.
I'm going to do a layer of cheese. And this dish is like a 13 by 6, something like that. So we'll be making quite a bit of lasagna with it. It'll make quite a bit of servings.
Completely full.
Well, like it'll be quite a few servings.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That means good leftovers. It's looking good. And it smells delicious, people. The reason I like the polska kielbasa is it's very well seasoned.
Noodle. Cheese in that corner there.
Yeah, you don't want to miss any with the cheese.
We'll like that one just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and kind of spread that one over a little bit. Okay, and for another layer of the meat sauce. Might ought to say sauce with that. But everybody I know that makes lasagna uses cottage cheese in it because the ricotta is too expensive. Or ricotta, whatever that is. I can't pronounce
I've
it.
only ever made it with ricotta. I was an adult before I ever met someone that used cottage, and I tasted it and it tasted the same. I like it either way.
I don't know. I don't like baked
Cream or the cottage
cottage cheese. It just,
didn't taste right.
and I will not buy lasagna entrees from the freezer
Yeah, because
section.
they always, I'm pretty sure they use ricotta.
And it tastes frozen.
And most frozen food tastes frozen.
Yeah, I know. I was just pointing that out as one of the reasons why I don't like frozen lasagna.
Yeah.
It's because it's got the taste of that freezer.
I think we might have needed more cheese.
Yeah. Well,
Not having ricotta in here really threw me off.
but we've got that to layer the top with, and if we need to, we can cut up some more of that.
Yeah.
Might ought to do.
We'll just use this on this and then
Yeah, and then we'll cut it up for the top layer.
we'll cut up some more cheese for the top.
We've never done this before, so please forgive us for not knowing how many bags of cheese to buy.
Well, I've done it before, but I've always, like I said, I've always done it with ricotta. So doing it with just shredded, that's what threw me off. I thought 5 cups of cheese would be plenty.
But when it's diced very thin, it's a little bit different.
Well, not having ricotta in there, so I did it. So, okay.
Okay, are we ready for another layer?
Yep.
And you can get out that cheese to be diced. And we just use cheese slices for the Colby Jack because the Colby Jack comes in cheese. And this should be all we need of this.
Yeah, we don't need any more lasagna.
So it took all but 4 sheets out of the oven ready lasagna box.
Last layer of meat, and then we'll add the rest of the cheese.
And we can make the last layer of meat a little thicker
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, since it's the top.
This does smell delicious.
Now this is about this will be about an extra cup and a half of shredded cheese, so I'll have to add that in the description with the ingredients.
Yeah.
So remember that at home, folks. If you're doing it,
all of you who are watching this live.
Yeah.
Well, not live.
Not live. If you're doing it without ricotta or cottage cheese,
Make sure
'Cause you have
a
picky-
little bit of extra.
because you have picky eaters.
Yeah, I am when it
And
comes
that's-
to this because I've never ate lasagna.
And that's coming from a picky eater.
Yeah, because she's pickier than I am. I can eat almost anything but liver and stuff like that. Deer meat, I don't like deer meat. It tastes like liver to me. Smells like it too when it's cooking. Okay. And we actually mixed it all That was pretty good on the sauce.
Clean up while we go because it's a lot easier that way.
Yes, big time.
Okay, then we'll
There are
add
very few dishes left to wash because we've been washing them as we go.
the rest of this. Or add this. I'm losing some cheese.
I'll be right back.
With the top on nice and cheesy. This is a very cheesy dish.
Baby, I can't keep you right now.
Okay.
You've
Now-
been fed once. Talking to my cat.
The porch cat.
Yeah.
Now we
It
gotta
thinks
just
it's starving to death when it ain't. I feed the outdoor cats. I can't help it. I cannot let an animal go hungry.
then we'll cover it with foil. Don't want to do it too bad. Don't want to get too tight on that cheese or it'll melt.
Yeah, it'll stick to the sheet.
We'll cover it 30 minutes.
I've got a lid for that, but it's plastic.
Yeah, that would melt worse. Yeah, that would be worse.
That would absolutely make a blue cheese out of that.
30 minutes. And then, oh boy, that's I'll show you the progress so far.
Yes.
30 minutes is what it looks like. We're going to pop it back in for 10 minutes to let it get
Let it
toasty.
finish toasting on top.
Get golden brown. And while we're doing that, we'll do the garlic.
Yeah.
While that's in, we'll do the garlic.
We want a couple of little cloves of garlic
Got 2 more.
and just pull that waffle thing up because it makes pretty waffle shapes. And I'll put in a half of this stick first. The garlic bread is so easy. We always get these buns at Sam's Club, and we either use the buns or we use the bread, what's that called?
The Italian.
Italian loaf of bread. I don't remember what it's called. Baguette.
Well, those wouldn't be Italian. That's French.
Well,
But yeah,
yeah.
we either use the Italian loaf or the baguettes.
And the baguettes are extremely good. Okay. And you want this to melt good and kind of let the garlic saute into it. And we may end up having to use a little bit more garlic with it, but that's okay too. But these are from Sam's Club, and it's some of the best bread ever I put in my mouth. And no, we don't get any kind of kickback from Sam's Club for advertising for them.
Not sponsored.
It's just a good place to buy groceries, especially if, like me, I'm on a monthly income. So I buy a month's worth of groceries at a time. And when you're buying a month's worth, you just break it down,
Yeah,
freeze
because
it
they come.
separately.
The big ones come in a 12-pack, and then you can get the mini ones that are like a 24-pack.
Yeah, and the mini ones are good, but they're not as good as these. I like getting a little more of a hunk of bread when I take a bite. But I love good food. Even if I am having issues at the moment. But hopefully, once the colonoscopy is done, I won't have to worry for a while. Okay, this is melted. Now we're going to turn it up a little bit so that it'll toast these well. I usually put it on about medium heat. And you just want to lay these down in here. And this is a big enough skillet. You can do 2 of them at a time.
Just about.
Yeah, I mean, it does
tight,
pretty
a little bit
good.
tight fit, but it does the job.
Because you just want to toast them good on both sides.
Yeah, coated.
And you've got all that garlic in there to make it taste so well. Smells good. I love the smell of sauteing garlic. Oh, cannot help myself. Oh,
I just used it on the cheese.
yeah, and it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of cheese in that either, does it? I love cheesy garlic bread. So yeah, it's got a wee bit of cheese. It's not a dirty fork, it's just a cheesy fork. Like some of my jokes.
Extra cheese.
But I loved it when I had my entire church laughing and me just sitting there looking around like I already heard the joke, so, you know.
Oh, that's smelling really good.
It does.
The toasted.
It does. It smells exemplary. And you just fry it on each side, get it nicely coated in butter. And I try to mash it down a little bit.
Soak up some butter.
Yeah, it does. It soaks it up well. It's like a sponge. How many sponges do you put in a sponge cake?
I don't know. Just one?
Ellie Mae used about 8. That joke kind of tells how old I am because I used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that garlic is getting so nice and toasty brown. And it's sticking nicely to the buns. And we have 4 buns that we're doing this way, and it takes a whole stick of butter most of the time to do all 4. But I like mine buttery. If you don't like yours as buttery, just don't use as much butter. Oh yeah. These can be put on a plate. They're very nicely done. See how pretty and brown?
Nice and toasty. Falling apart.
And coming apart. That's because they are so tender and fresh. Okay, let's get this melted in there. And everybody loves my hidden trash can.
Yeah. Well, and I like I like this too.
Yeah.
Got that.
Got 2 different
And
silverware
then, I don't know if
drawers.
the camera will pick up this door, but it's got the knives they got slots for all the knives. You got this with all the separation.
Yeah.
This one and the bottom one.
And I had Lowe's do my kitchen. It's been about
It's been a while before I was
years
in here.
ago.
Yeah,
It's been at least 15 years. And everything works well still. I haven't had to have any work done to my cabinets or anything. I mean, they did a really good job.
Now, too, like a couple things. If I ever redid my kitchen or anything like that, I would get something like this, and I would get a hidden trash can like that.
Yeah. It really comes in handy.
And this one is supposed to have. Well, I mean, it has it, but it's kind of
hard to get to, though.
Yeah, that one's a little wobbly and stuff.
It's not as easy to clean as you'd think either.
Yeah. So that's got some issues with it. Which I've seen people that have these, but they have it over their trash can.
Yeah.
And then that way they can just scrape it right off into the trash when they're done with it.
I'm going to let you keep an eye on these. I've got to run in here for a sec. Oh, my 30-year-old. You're my pretty. One of my pretty cats. Oh, yeah. So, see, it does not take long at all to do them. They're already ready, and that's probably ready to come out the oven.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's got about 45 seconds left. I would say it can come out.
Oh, yeah, it's toasted. Still here for that heat to go out.
Yeah. Yummy, yummy. Ooh.
And I don't know if any of you noticed my pretty poncho sweater. It was a Christmas present from my niece, Amy. Thank you, Amy.
So, it's getting done. And just gotta wait for her to get here so she can taste it.
And when our royal taste tester gets here, we will be
it should be good and cooled off.
It should be. Oh, it looks wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And it smells good. So I think we may have figured out a new lasagna recipe. Our royal taste tester has arrived. And I'm going to let you cut that for her. Because you know how to cut.
And just cut it like a cake or something.
It looks like a big rat's already got into it, and I know that wasn't us.
I wonder who that would have been.
I have no clue, but it wasn't that.
Well, those noodles cut nice and easy.
Good. Because it's the first time either. Okay, for the royal taste test.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
It does smell good, people.
Yeah, it does. It looks good. It smells good. What's the secret? Is there something?
No, it's
Just
not. There's no
nothing
joke
crazy.
on it.
No, this is real stuff, bro.
What did he say?
He said this is real stuff.
Okay. And it's hot.
Yes,
Still hot.
it just come out of the oven about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, here we go. I'll take a corner bite then. That's too hot.
Pretty fresh.
You can smell it from out there. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
The meat
That's
is
good.
hamburger and polska kielbaska. And it's got a 4-state cheese blend. And it's got
The Mexican.
the Mexican blend, and some Monterey, or not Monterey, Colby Jack cheese that we diced.
I like it better than.
Ricotta cottage.
I like it better than the traditional.
I don't like traditional, so we came up with a way to make it non-traditional, make it our own recipe, and that's the oven-ready lasagna. That
I
wasn't
never
the kind
used-
you have to boil.
Yeah, I'd never used that.
It's tender.
Yeah, it cut right through with that.
And that's a plastic scoop.
That's good. I like it better than if you use Italian sausage or
Heard
something.
it here first.
That's good.
And now, if you don't like those two cheeses in it that I don't want in it, you've got another way of making it, and it's not got seeds in it, so if you have diverticulitis, you can still eat it. But until next week, thank you very much for sharing your time with us.